I want to start with a scenario that, I think every single person listening has felt at least once. It's that Monday morning hangover. But I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm talking about the spiritual hangover.
Which is actually, in my opinion, way more painful than the tequila version.
100%. Okay, so picture this. You just spent the weekend at a retreat, or maybe you just read some life-changing book, or listened to a 3-hour deep dive that just blew your mind. You feel light, you feel expansive, you feel like, okay, I finally get it, I know how the universe works, and I am gonna crush it.
You're vibrating at a higher frequency, it's the high, and that feeling is real, it's totally genuine.
Right, but then you walk into your office on Monday, or you just open your laptop, and immediately reality just punches you in the face.
Yep.
Your inbox is a complete disaster zone.
Right.
You realize you forgot to pay your credit card bill. Your spouse is annoyed because you didn't do the dishes. And that Zen master feeling, gone instantly.
And you're back to being stressed, reactive, overwhelmed.
Exactly. It's a classic disconnect. We have this high voltage internal experience, but our external reality, our bank accounts, our relationships, our daily habits, it's all completely chaotic.
And we usually think that's a failure. Like, oh, the retreat was fake, or I'm just not cut out for this.
But the sources we're looking at today, they offer a totally different explanation. They say, you're not broken, you just have a plumbing problem.
Which has got to be the least sexy way to describe spiritual growth, but it is so accurate.
So today, we are doing a deep dive into Kabbalah. Specifically, a concept called the Tree of Life. Now, before anyone tunes out thinking we're about to discuss like red strings, Madonna, or ancient magic spells, stick with us, because the way our sources lay this out, the Tree of Life isn't a religious symbol. It's a schematic. It is literally a wiring diagram for the human soul.
That is the best way to frame it. Think of it less as theology and more as engineering. The whole mission of this deep dive is to answer one question. If I have all this potential and energy in my head, why is my life on the ground such a mess?
And the core concept here is top-down. The sources use this analogy of a house, which really helps strip away the mysticism.
Right, let's just simplify the whole diagram. Imagine energy flows like electricity. And you have 3 main zones in this house of yours.
Okay.
The top floor, the head, that's the power plant. It's where the ideas are generated. Super high voltage.
Got it.
Then you have the middle floor, the heart. Think of that as the transformer or the fuse box. You can't just plug a toaster into a power plant. It'll just explode. You have to step the energy down, filter it, process it emotionally.
And the ground floor?
The ground floor is action, the light bulb. That's your reality, your body, your finished work, your money. So the Kabbalistic principle is simple. If the light bulb isn't turning on, you don't scream at the light bulb.
Go check the wiring.
You go check the fuse box, you go check the power plant, you trace the wire back to find the blockage.
I love that because it just removes all the shame. If my life is messy, it's not because I'm a bad person, it's because a pipe is clogged somewhere. So let's trace this line. The Tree of Life has 10 points, or sephiro. And I really want to walk through these because the definitions were surprisingly practical.
Let's do it. We start at the very, very top, the source of the river.
Zone 1, the head. The world of thought. And the first point is Keter, the crown.
Keter is the why. It's your will. Before you even have a specific thought, you have an intent, a preconscious desire. If you ask, what am I doing today? That's a strategy question. But if you ask, what was I born for? Or what's my ultimate vision? That's a Keter question.
So this is basically the compass.
It's the North Star, yeah. If your Keter is weak, you're just a ship with a powerful engine but no rudder. You're moving fast, but you're just doing circles in the ocean.
Okay, so let's say the will is there, the compass is set. Next, the energy moves to chakma, wisdom. The text calls this a spark.
I like to think of chakma as the shower idea.
The shower idea.
You know that moment? You're just washing your hair, your mind is wandering, and suddenly, lightning strikes. I should open a coffee shop for dogs. It's brilliant. It feels like $1 million idea. It's just raw, unrefined inspiration. That is chokma.
But you can't live in the shower.
Exactly. Chokma is formless. It's like a flash of lightning. If you don't catch it, it just vanishes. Which is why we need the next point. Vaina, understanding.
Vaina is the container.
Yeah. If chokma is the eureka moment, Vaina is the Excel spreadsheet. It's the architectural blueprint. It takes that raw, kind of crazy dog coffee shop energy and asks, okay, what's the budget? What are the zoning laws? What's the timeline? It gives the energy structure.
And this brings us to what I think is the most relatable part of the research, the head trap. The sources say most intelligent people never actually get past this point.
This is where dreams go to die. We get stuck looping between Chokma and Bina.
Oh, I live here. This is my permanent address. I call this the GoDaddy loop.
The GoDaddy loop.
Yeah. It's 2 a.m. I get the Chokma spark. I'm going to start a newsletter about vintage typewriters.
Yeah.
So what do? I go to Bina. I buy the domain name. I design a logo in Canva. I maybe even create a folder on my desktop called Typewriter Project. And then I go to bed feeling incredibly accomplished.
And what happens 6 months later?
The folder is empty, and I'm paying $12 a year for a domain I'll never use.
That is the head trap perfectly described. And here's the science behind it. Your brain releases dopamine when you make the plan. So in your head, you have already built the newsletter, you got the chemical reward for the visualization, so you have no fuel left for the actual execution.
That is terrifying. So the planning is actually sabotaging the doing.
Often, yes, you are a genius in the world of thought in the head, but because you satisfied the urge there, the energy never drops down to the next level, it just evaporates.
So how do we stop the evaporation? We have to move the energy down. This brings us to zone 2, the heart, the engine room.
And this is where things get emotional. The head is all cool and logical. The heart is where we generate the drive to actually move. And we have two opposing forces here. First, cheesed.
Cheesed is mercy. But in the practical sense, it's expansion.
It's the gas pedal. Cheesed is pure optimism. It's the energy of yes. It's the desire to give, to grow, to take on more. When you're excited to start a project, that's cheesed. It's boundless.
But you can't drive a car with only a gas pedal. You'll crash.
Which is why opposite cheese, we have gevura, severity.
I feel like Gevura is the villain of the story for a lot of people. It means restriction, boundaries, discipline.
It's the brake pedal, and you're right, people hate gevura. Gevura is the ability to say no. It's the ability to look at that exciting plan and say, we don't have the budget. Or to look at your schedule and say, I cannot go to that party because I have to work.
It just feels mean. It feels restrictive.
It feels restrictive because it is. But think about a garden hose. If you turn on the water, that's cheesed, but there's no hose, no gevura to direct it, you just get a puddle. You need the restriction of the rubber hose to create pressure. Without gevura, your energy just sprays everywhere. You become the person who helps everyone else but never finishes their own work.
So we have the gas, cheesed in the brakes, gevura, and right in the middle, balancing them, is tiferet, beauty.
Tiferet is the sweet spot. It's truth. It's the balance between being too kind and too strict.
The sources mention a specific trap here called the tiferet bypass or fake nice. This really stood out to me.
Oh, this is huge in, spiritual circles. People think being spiritual means you're always soft, always smiling, always saying it's all good. That's not tiferet. That's just weak cheese.
Right.
Tiferet is truth. And sometimes the truthful thing to do is to be angry. Sometimes the balanced action is to fire someone or to break up with someone. If you suppress the negative just to keep the peace, you aren't in tiferet. You're just clogging the pipe with unexpressed emotion.
So, tiferet is the adult in the room who decides when to hit the gas and when to hit the brakes.
Precisely. Now let's assume we've navigated this. We have the brilliant idea from the head, we have the emotional drive and the discipline from the heart. Now we hit the danger zone. Zone 3, action.
This is where the rubber meets the road and where most of us skid off, right? We start with netzach, endurance.
Grit. This is the energy of Tuesday afternoon.
Why Tuesday?
Because Monday is exciting. Monday is Cheese's new project. Tuesday. Well, the novelty wears off, the work becomes boring. Netzach is the power to keep walking when that initial spark of chakma is long dead. It's just grinding.
But then we have its partner, Hood. Humility. This one was a little harder for me to wrap my head around. If netzach is don't give up, isn't Hood kind of give up?
No, think of it more as feedback. If netzach is the engine driving the car forward, Hood is the steering wheel. If you have all grit and no humility, you're just stubborn. You will drive your project right off a cliff because you refuse to listen to anyone who told you it's a bad idea.
Ah, okay. So netzach says push through the wall, and Hod says hang on, check if you're pushing on the right wall.
Exactly. Hod is the ability to submit to the process, to admit, hey, I made a mistake on this, or this isn't working, I need to pivot.
And then the funnel gets really, really narrow. We reach yesod, foundation.
Yesod is the connector. It's the final pipe right before the faucet. In practical terms, this is your boring, mundane infrastructure.
We're talking sleep and logistics.
Sleep, diet, your calendar, your file organization. The sources call this the Yesod leak. You can have a visionary mind, a passionate heart, and incredible grit. But if you're sleep deprived and your desk is covered in 3 weeks of trash, the energy just cannot get through.
It's wild that this ancient mystical wisdom basically boils down to clean your ring.
It's structural integrity. You can't build a skyscraper on a swamp. If your Yesod is broken, the energy just leaks out right before it can manifest.
And finally, we arrive. The destination. The bottom of the tree. Malkuth, the kingdom.
Malkuth is the result. It is physical reality. It's the book on the shelf, the money in the bank, the number on the scale. And the sources have a very provocative phrase about this. Malkuth never lies.
Okay, I have to push back on that a little. That sounds great on a bumper sticker, but it feels cold.
Yeah.
If someone is struggling financially, or they're sick, or they just got laid off, isn't it a bit reductive to say, well, your spiritual pipes are clogged? It feels a little like victim blaming.
I'm glad you brought that up because it does sound harsh. But in the context of this system, it's not a moral judgment, it's a diagnostic one.
Meaning?
If you turn the faucet handle and no water comes out, you don't say the faucet is evil or lazy, you just say there's a blockage. Malkuth is just data. We love to tell ourselves stories in the upper zones. I'm working so hard, I'm such a good person. But Malkuth is the scoreboard. It just shows you what actually made it all the way down the line.
So it's not about shame. It's about looking at the result as neutral feedback.
Exactly. If the result isn't there, don't beat yourself up. Just grab a flashlight and go check the pipes. Usually the problem is higher up.
Speaking of checking the pipes, the sources break down why we fail into what they call the 3 pillars. This helps us diagnose our personality types.
Right. The tree has a right side, a left side, and a middle.
So let's profile the listener. If someone is leaning right, what does that look like?
This is the overwhelmed nice guy. You have way too much cheese expansion and not enough gevura boundaries. You say yes to everyone, you have a million ideas, you're constantly starting new things, but your life is chaos. You have no container, the water is spraying everywhere, but the garden is dry.
Okay, flip it. The leaning left personality.
The burned out perfectionist. Too much gevura. Your life is a prison of rules. You judge yourself constantly. If it's not perfect, don't ship it. You might be very disciplined, but you're miserable. You're squeezing the hose so tight that no water can flow.
And the goal, obviously, is the middle pillar.
Balance. Tiferet. It's having the optimism to start on the right and the discipline to finish on the left.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the system. We know about the head trap, the sod leak, the imbalance. The sources provide a 7-day repair protocol to flush the system.
Yeah.
And I want to walk through this because, well, some of these days sound easy, but are actually brutal.
They are deceptively simple. We're just using micro actions to clear each sephira.
Day 1, Monday, Keter, the will.
Your job is to write a 1-line vision for the week. Just 1 line. Why am I here this week? Most people skip this and just start answering emails. Don't do that. Set the compass first.
Day 2, Tuesday, Bina, structure.
Take that vision and break it into 3 small steps. Not some generic to-do list. 3 steps that actually move the needle on that vision. Create the container.
Day 3, Wednesday, Javura, boundaries. This is the one I think people will struggle with.
Oh, this is the painful one. You have to cut one thing out, just one.
Like what?
No phone after 9 p.m. Or, I will not say yes to that coffee meeting I don't want to go to.
That's physically painful for people with high cheese.
It is. You will feel guilty. But you have to exercise the no muscle to seal the leaks in your energy.
Day 4, Thursday, Jazed, mercy.
Now you open the valve. Do 1 act of kindness without expecting any return. Send a thank you email. Buy someone lunch. Remind yourself that energy is meant to flow out, not just be hoarded.
Day 5, Friday, Tiferet, truth.
The calibration day. Just stop and look at the week. Are you burning out? That's 2 left. Are you slacking off? That's 2. Right, be honest with yourself and just adjust the dial.
Day 6, Saturday, Yesod, foundation.
The plumbing day. This is not spiritual work, it's grunt work. Clean your desk. Clear your desktop. Prep your meals for the next day. You are removing friction so the energy can slide into reality.
And day 7, Sunday, Malkuth, the kingdom.
Finish 1 thing.
Just one.
Just 1, but it has to be done. Not drafted, not almost ready.
Yep.
Shipped Posted, submitted. The size doesn't matter, the completion matters. You're teaching your nervous system that you are a person who brings things all the way down to the ground.
And then celebrate it.
Essential. Acknowledge that the light bulb turned on.
As we wrap this up, my biggest takeaway is actually a reframing of what spirituality even is. I think and probably a lot of our listeners, have this idea that being spiritual means escaping. It means leaving the messy world of bills and dishes to go hang out in Keter up in the clouds.
That is the great misconception, and Kabbalah argues the exact opposite. The goal isn't to escape to the mountaintop. The goal is to bring the light of the mountaintop down into the valley.
So the dirty dishes are the point.
The dirty dishes are the final test. If you are enlightened and high vibe, but you can't keep your promises, can't hold down a job, and can't take care of your physical space, then you aren't spiritual. You're just spacing out. True spirituality is grounding. It's the ability to hold that high voltage and use it to power a real physical life.
You don't need to be brighter. You just need to be better wired.
Exactly.
So here is where we leave you today. Look at your Malkuth. Look at your results this week, and don't judge them. Remember, no shame, just data. Where is the flow stopping? Are you stuck dreaming in your head? Are you leaking energy in your heart? Or is your foundation just too messy to support the structure?
The universe wants to flow through you. You just have to make sure the pipes are clear.
Try the protocol. Start with your why tomorrow morning. And thanks for diving deep with us.
See you next time.